Hello fellow investor, unfortunately it's time to pull the plug on Lofty. It passed more than 1 year and a half from when I started my first investment in Lofty. It was the beginning of 2021, and right now the situation is pretty bad. This is why I want to make this video, to try to update you about this investment and let you understand what are the real problems and the real situation of this platform. When I first started, you can check the post right here. I make an extensive review of the platform. I did also other videos that you will find in the description. It was working pretty good, and you can find a property that was giving between 8, 9, 10% cash on cash return, which was amazing at the time. But right now, unfortunately, the situation of this very high yield property turned out to be very bad. The cash on cash return decreased, and also there is a fall down of the property asset. As you can see from this Excel file, I exported all the transaction, all the rent I received, the cash rent I received in Lofty from my first investment, which was 21st January 2022 up to yesterday, 3 of June. So you see, this is the value of the cash in I got, the address of the property. At the beginning was only this one in Cleveland, after it added up more and more property. And I did a pivot table, and this is the daily rent chart, which is tremendously bad, as you can see. When I started, you can see that I arrived very fast to $1 per day, so my rent that I was receiving was around $1 per day, spike up to 120. It was moving up and down because of many situations, many reasons. Sometimes there is an increase of the rent, sometimes there is a tenant that go out, and maybe we wait 1 month before to put another tenant in, so we have a reduction of the rent. This is pretty normal, but you see it's fluctuating. But from March 2023 the situation is dramatic. Right now I'm getting 20 cents a day. Before it was $1, now it's 20 cents a day. 20 cents a day, if we do a simple calculation, it means $73 a year, and my investment is over $6,000. So I don't know, we will check a little bit later the exact amount of my investment, but if we divide it by $6,000, we are talking about 1%, a little bit more than 1.2%. It's ridiculous. If I invest this amount in some other platform, in the stock market, in the bond market, or even in the peer-to-peer lending, I will be very confident to get between 5-6% a year. Right now I am 1.22. It's a little bit hard to explain why the situation dropped so dramatically and why we are in this situation, because I'm not the only one. If you read the Discord channel of Lofty, is full of people complaining on the situation. But I will now switch to the Lofty account, and I will explain a little bit in detail why some properties stopped to make any money and why the cash on cash return went so bad. So let's take a look on the Lofty portal. So right here is my Lofty account. As I said, the value of my property at the moment is $6,400. Stay with me because this number is not correct. I will explain you why. I showed also in my previous video that I link right here that there is some misinformation, let's say, in the Lofty dashboard. Anyway, my investment was $6,363, so a little bit more than the 6,000. So let's say that my return now is 1%. Even if they tell me that my historical return went to 8.65%, that's far from the reality. It's not true, and I will explain you why. Look at all this property. For example, this one in Cleveland, the rent yield, so the cash on cash return, is 3.39%, very low. And look at this, a bunch of property with 0%. 1, 2, 3, 4, this 4, I mean 0.02, 5 property with 0% cash on cash return. How is it possible? Basically, there are 2 reasons. First one is very simple reason. There are properties like this one. Let's enter a moment, I will show you. This property is vacant at the moment. Occupancy status vacant. So it's put on the market. I received an email from Lofty that the tenant left, so they are searching for a new tenant. It means it passed a moment where there are offers, the price get first increased, after decreased, according to the market. But the point is, at the moment, the property is vacant, so it doesn't generate any money. Doesn't matter here, projected rental yield, this is what they hope they will get from this property, but at the moment there's nobody inside, so nobody's paying. And so this is the first situation, property that are vacant at the moment. This is something I get. If the property are in a cool place and the market is booming, for sure you will be able to find a new tenant very easily. But right now probably this is not the case. So this property stay vacant already for a while, and I don't know when they will find a tenant. Maybe they will reduce again the price to find somebody cheaper, at least to put somebody in. I honestly hope whatever money I can get, I'm happy. But there are other properties that have a much bigger problem. For example, let's take a look at this one. As you can see right here, because I need to say one thing about Lofty, it's very transparent in this thing, it tells you everything. And as you can see, this property needed a roof replacement. So we took a loan, we as a collective shareholder of this property, we took a loan, and we are paying back this loan with the rent that we receive. So until the loan will be paid back, we will not receive any rent. And it's written that the projected monthly cash flow is $1.9 thousand, and it will take 7 months to pay off the loan balance of $30,500. So this is another property that if everything go in the right direction, I will not get any money for the next 7 months. Doesn't matter that here they say that it's projected 9% again. The property is not producing any money, and this is why I get zero in my bank account every day. The same story happened also to other properties that have a zero cash-on-cash return. For example, let's click on this one, and we see that also this one there was an operating reserve shortfall of $24,794 due to repair and utility payment. So it means that 100% of the future rental income will go toward paid off this balance. So I don't know for how long I will not see any money from this. This is why also the property was listed for sale for $500,000. This was a 8-studio apartment. The situation is like this basically for all of them. There are a few properties like this one in Miami, which has the same cash-on-cash return I had before. In the moment I purchased it and remained like that. This is high-quality property. Honestly, I really hope that in the marketplace we will find more of this type of property. Give us a less cash-on-cash return, but more premium property without all this bullshit of repair, problem with tenant. I know this is a risky investment. You do this investment from abroad, you don't even know where they are, these properties. You check on Google Maps, but it's not much you can do apart from that. So the situation is this, and apart from the problem of the cash-on-cash return, of the fact that I don't get enough money right now in my bank account, I get 20 cents a day out of more than $6,000 investment, and that's a joke. The problem is that I'm losing value of my investment, because here they're telling me that my investment appreciated 0.78%. Here even this Alberta one that we checked, it said that the principal value of the token increased 11.55%. But guys, let's enter a moment right here. If I want to sell this property, the starting price is $30 per token, and in the moment I booked was $50 per token. You can see right here, okay, it doesn't go back too much, but it was 49, and after is going to 32. So if I want to sell, I click right here, I will not do it. I can put my limit price of $50, but I will not sell anything, because if we look at the order book right here, we see that there are one person buying at 31, another person buying at 30. I don't know how many people are. And basically there is a sell of 30, and all the other people are trying to sell to 50, 51, 52, but nobody will buy it. So if I want to sell my property, I need to go around $30, so it means I will lose almost 40% of my investment. And like this, all other property, because I need to tell you guys, the situation is on all the market of Lofty. I'm not just the unlucky one who selected a bad property. This is what is happening to all of them. Probably the only property that is surviving of the one I have in my portfolio is this one in Miami Beach that here is right here, that you can see It has at the moment a starting price of $50.94, which was exactly how much I paid for, because I booked at $50. So if I want, honestly, this one I can sell it. But of course I need to be aware that I will pay a platform fee of 2.5%. So I'm ready to do it at this stage. No, I don't think I will disinvest my money at the moment. There is no reason to do a mess to get out $6,000. I will lose at least 20-30% of that because of the depreciation of my asset. Honestly, I don't care. I will leave it there. But yeah, this is the situation of Lofty. If we go in the marketplace right here, let's see what they are selling at the moment. And you see that there are still property that are giving a 10% rent projected rental yield, but honestly, I don't trust that. I think there is a strong possibility that many of these property will turn out bad, like the one I purchased. So no more money into Lofty for me, and I'm honestly sorry if you take a look at right here in my account. I did a lot of referral on Lofty. There is the referral leaderboard, and you can see that I am the number 10 right here. This is me. 8 referrals, so there are 8 of you that watched my video, used my code to invest in Lofty. So what to think about that? First of all, this is a risky investment. I always say in all my video. I never passed the message that this is easy money or stuff like that. I never do. Always for me, safety is the most important priority during investment. Anyway, I don't like that maybe some of you lost the money like I did. I will try to pay more attention in the future before to give a referral code. But anyway, I want to say I'm not sponsored at all by Lofty. Otherwise, I would never do such kind of video. So what to say now that you arrived at the end of this video? First of all, I want to make a disclaimer because Lofty is a marketplace, so nobody forces us to buy any property, and all the property that are listed there are there for our own due diligence. Anyway, I think that Lofty should have done more due diligence and need to decide which type of property they list in their marketplace, and especially they need to cut out all this very risky property, because especially for expat investor like me, I mean people that are not living in the United States, it's pretty hard to understand the US market. I'm sure it's already hard for people who live there. Can you imagine for people abroad? So it's hard to evaluate, and at the end the people just take a look at the cash on cash return and the yield of the investment, but they don't understand the real risk that is behind that. So from this point, I think that Lofty should do a little bit more. I will not for sure put more money into Lofty at this stage. Also, I will try maybe to get some money out, but I don't know if I will be able, because as I showed during the video, the value of the asset, if I sell on the secondary market, apart from the fee that I'm going to pay, that's 20-25% lower. So I honestly don't want to lose all this money. I will just keep it there, hoping that the situation will improve. It depends from how will go the real estate market in the United States and in the area where I bought my property. But for sure, after this experience, I will think twice before buying any other property on Lofty. I'm a little bit sad about the things turn out with the platform. In my previous video 1 year ago, I was very excited about this Lofty. I was thinking it's a good way for us to invest in the real estate market in the US. Of course, it was much better to invest in a real estate investment trust. This is another story, but it's a pity that things turn out in this way. Let me know in the comment what you think. Let me know if you have an investment in Lofty and how is it going. Maybe it's just me that is quite unlucky that I picked the wrong properties, but I don't think so. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't do right now, because it helped a lot, and see you to the next video.